Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday, January 4th, 2026. This is Truth News, where we report just the truth. That's it, just the truth. Don't need a fancy camera, don't need a bunch of makeup and hair, don't need a studio. Just me, a tablet in my room, telling the truth. That's it, because I'm sick of the lies, I'm sick of this government, sick of the corruption. I think we, the people, as a collective whole, are sick of all the lies, the corruption, the deceit, the evil our government commits against we the people, using our money to conduct evil against us. Yesterday we discussed psychopaths in the United States government. We went through the behavioral and personality traits of a psychopath as listed online. There were 7 of them, and the United States government, we're guilty of all 7. No doubt about it. So today, we're going to go into the Kabuki theater show is what I call the United States government. It's just theater. It's like Hollywood. It's just a big show with a bunch of fake actors who get in front of a camera and do nothing but lie to us. That's it. That's all they do. They're actors. And to prove they are actors, we are going to go through their television history. We're going to see how many of our people in our government are actually actors, who have been on television shows, reality shows, who are now newscasters, secretary and cabinet members, and even the President of the United States of America. We all know that's an actor, that's a television show. He has no viable skills, he has no viable intelligence, other than he can get in front of a camera and lie. That's his greatest contribution to the United States of America. He can sit in front of a camera and lie. So we're going to start with Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth of Fox News, that's right. He was a talking head on Fox News, and he is now the Secretary of Defense, which he calls the Secretary of War in a peaceful regime, supposed to be. The President of Peace has the Secretary of War. Excuse me. So we're going to go through Pete Hegseth, and I did a little research. These are my notes. These are just talking points. That's all they are. This is not a script. This is all from my heart, because the truth just comes out naturally. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to write it down to remember it. The truth is the truth, and that's it. The truth is reality. So let's talk about Pete Hegseth, the actor on Fox News, who's a paid propagandist who is now the Secretary of Defense for the United States of America, representing we the people and our interest, supposedly. I found out this morning that in 2017, Pete Hegseth was accused of rape. Sound familiar? Anyone else in the Trump administration accused of rape? Maybe the president himself? 13-year-old Katie Johnson? Sounds familiar. Sounds like we got a band of rapists running the United States of America. A 30-year-old woman in 2017 accused Pete Hegseth of rape at the California Federation for Republican Women. Of course, because he has money and he's a celebrity, he was never charged with the crime of rape. What he did do was pay her a bunch of money in an undisclosed amount of a settlement to make it go away. This is a pattern of behavior for the rich and the elites of our country. They can rape and murder, spend a bunch of money, and never see a day in jail or any accountability, and it gets swept under the rug. And the media calls it false allegations, yada, yada, blah, blah. So she said, and I got this article from Vanity Fair. I believe that's where I got this. I got a lot of my facts today from Vanity Fair, just to quote my sources, that she said no many times to Pete Hegseth. No, don't do this. Stop. And Pete Hegseth said it was consensual. So when Pete Hegseth rapes a woman who says no, Pete Hegseth says that's consensual sex. This is the Secretary of Defense for the United States of America right now. So there's one paid actor from Fox News. We will get into Fox News and how they have other paid actors, and you won't believe Rachel Campos. We see you, Miss Campos. We see you. So let's go to one of the most famous actors in our administration, the Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon. That's right. Vince McMahon's wife, the WWE queen herself, the biggest staged fake theater show in the United States of America, wrestling. It is all fake. Everyone knows it's fake. It is all scripted. Everyone knows it. And this woman is in charge of the education of our children. Let me repeat that. The CEO of the fakest, most scripted, dramatized television program, wrestling, is in charge of the education of our children, Linda McMahon. So there's actor number 2 in the Trump administration. We have Dan Bongino. Everyone knows Dan. He's a podcaster. Sure, he was a police officer in New York City in the late 90s. He was in the Secret Service. I don't know why they call it Secret Service. Everyone knows about it. But he was in the Secret Service for a brief stint. And from there, he was just a podcaster. Just got in front of a camera and told a bunch of lies for attention. Like, when we get in there, we're going to get the Epstein files. Does everyone remember Dan Bongino? His dedication to the Epstein files and eliminating the deep state. We're going to drain the swamp. Dan Bongino, professional podcaster who recently resigned because the Epstein files were too much for him to handle. And he's probably going to try to go back to podcasting. I don't know who's going to watch his lying ass. I wouldn't. He don't deserve my time or attention. I hope he don't deserve yours. I hope you think more of yourself than to watch a scumbag liar like Dan Bongino try to tell you he's not a scumbag liar. So, from there we have Dr. Oz. Everyone remembers Dr. Oz. He had his own television show for many years. He is now over health, I believe. That's his position. He's in the secretary. So we've got a list of actors in the Trump cabinet, huh? We went over Trump and The Apprentice. We won't touch on Erica Kirk, although she was in a reality show, drinking and dating, while she's telling the world on camera that she's such a devout Christian, just a great woman, never drank, never dated, while on TV shows, reality shows, dating and drinking. But she was in the White House, so I thought we should add her because, like I said, she's Trump's right-hand little bimbo right now. Trump was on the Turning Point stage with her at the memorial of Charlie Kirk. She was in the White House, and everybody knows Erica Kirk had a hand in the assassination of her husband right in front of the whole world. Of course, it was orchestrated and coordinated by Israel, the CIA, the FBI, and a military op, because that's the best way to do an assassination. You get a bunch of people, and nobody can say who actually did it because so many people were involved. That's called muddying the waters, so you can't see. Hard to see in muddy waters. So, Howard Lutnick, he is a secretary, I believe, of Commerce. I believe Howard Lutnick is the Secretary of Commerce. He was on The Apprentice with Donald Trump. So we have another actor of the Kabuki Theater show of the United States government, Howard Lutnick. We have Lee Zeldin and Kristi Noem. Now, Lee Zeldin and Kristi Noem didn't actually star on a reality television show, but if you look at all the costumes that Kristi Noem has been caught in, construction worker, police officer, a teacher, she has dressed up. I believe they ran a show on this on YouTube the other day. She had like 9 different costumes she's dressed up in to put out these reality TV show style commercials and advertising for Border Patrol and ICE. So Lee Zeldin, Kristi Noem, 2 more actors of the Kabuki Theater show of America. We have everyone's favorite cross-eyed moron, Kash Patel. That's right, crazy-eyed Kash. Does anybody know where he's looking? Is he looking at me? Is he looking at her? Is he looking up? Is he looking down? Who can tell where Kash Patel is looking? Oh, crazy eyes himself. Professional podcaster is in charge of the FBI. Let me repeat that. A cross-eyed podcaster is in charge of the FBI. The same man who put on Twitter not once, but twice that they had Charlie Kirk's murderer when in fact they did not have Charlie Kirk's murderer. Not to mention the Brown shooting, Brown University, that shooting, we all saw the FBI agents with their meticulous gathering of forensic evidence by waving their feet back and forth across the snow. Look at that professionalism, huh? Let's take our size 10 boots and just move the snow back and forth to gather forensic evidence because we are the FBI. Oh my goodness. We have Elon Musk of Doge. He hosted Saturday Night Live. I don't know how. The man can barely form a complete sentence without stuttering and tripping over words. This man trips over words more than a 3-year-old trips over Legos. Yeah, that's the truth. We have RFK, Robert F. Kennedy. I did not know this until this morning. His wife is Cheryl Hines of Curb Your Enthusiasm, the popular Larry David show. Larry David, who produced Seinfeld, has a show called Curb Your Enthusiasm. Can't say that I've ever seen it, but his RFK's wife is an actress. The apple don't fall far from the tree now, does it? So here's the good one. I thought I'd save the best for last. The Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, and his wife, Rachel Campos. Rachel Campos is on Fox News. Sean Duffy is the Secretary of Transportation. Guess where they met, ladies and gentlemen? On the MTV reality show, The Real World. That's right. Sean Duffy was on The Real World Boston. Rachel Campos was on The Real World San Francisco. And they met up at a Real World casting event, I would say, and fell in love, had 9 children, and both went on to lead successful careers, one in Fox News, one as the Secretary of Transportation in the United States government. So we have real world actors from MTV running the United States government in charge of transportation. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? And this is all from Vanity Fair. I pulled this up from an article in Vanity Fair this morning. You're more than welcome to go research it yourself. I encourage you to. Just a reminder, today is day 1578 since my son was kidnapped and violently sexually assaulted by State Judge Kelly Hansen of Marietta, California, who has thousands of victims of children he has kidnapped, molested, and sold because in America, we sell our kids. And we are running low on children to sell. That's why they imported 300,000 children from the border who are missing. Haven't seen any of those kids, have you? Has anyone seen any of the 300,000 children from the border? Whatever happened to those kids? Well, that's right, they were sold. We can also talk about Kelly Hansen and his 16-year career as a state judge, kidnapping, molesting, and selling children. And we can talk about how the Trump administration is offering $5,000 worth of tax credits to anyone who will have children so they can take them when they get a little bit older and sell them around the world, because Japan builds and sells cars. China builds and sells phones and computers. Russia and the Middle East sell oil. South America, Colombia sells cocaine and coffee. The United States of America sells children, and we're running low. So the United States government is offering cash incentives to people who have children so they can sell them. And today being Sunday, and me being a big-time believer in God, we're going to read a quote from the Bible, one of my favorites. It's going to be 2 Timothy. Let me find it here. 2 Timothy 3, I believe. Where are you at, Timothy? Chronicles, Kings. We're in the back more. Because after all, everyone hates the truth, which is why most people hate the Bible, because the Bible is the truth. And Jesus Christ was crucified for telling the truth. That puts it in a nutshell. He told the truth. They called him crazy, and they nailed him to a cross and murdered him. And today, people hate the truth just as much. If you don't believe me, check out Candace Owens. The more truth she tells, the more people say she's crazy. It seems to be a pattern of behavior with this government. 2,000 years, same game. 2,000 years we've been running this. So, 2 Timothy 3. Let's start here. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Now, does that sound familiar? Do we got a lot of liars, traitors, people who hate good people, people who love to have sex and drugs more than they love God? Maybe that's why our country is filled with Pornhub, OnlyFans, Brazzers, and yoga pants. And women are making money by making videos of OnlyFans and doing nasty, vile, disgusting things with their bodies to make $1. This is the current state of the union in the United States of America. Our government sells children. Our government is a kabuki theater show of America, lying to us on camera, and that's their only job. That's the only job. Put on some nice clothes, get in front of a camera and lie, steal our money. And for added measure, let's just call Riverside County Sheriff's Department and report the child sex trafficking of Grayson Bass for the 1,578th day.
You've reached the Moreno Valley Police Department non-emergency line. If this is an emergency, hang up and dial 911.
Please hold while I transfer your call. Dispatch, Jessica.
Hi, Jessica. I'd like to report child sex trafficking of my son, please. And this is the response of Riverside County Sheriff's Department for 1,578 consecutive days. Jessica, do you have anything to say? You're on Truth News. Jessica, you're on a YouTube podcast called Truth News. I'm trying to report child sex trafficking with your law enforcement agency. Do you have anything to say, Jessica? As we can see, ladies and gentlemen, they have skipped denial straight into just being ignored. Just ignore it and it'll go away. That's their modus operandi for law enforcement in regards to child sex trafficking. And they put me on the hold, transferred me to the beep. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will continue to post these videos. We will continue to fight for the truth, and we will continue to seek justice against the government, who are treasonous traitors to we the people and the Constitution of the United States of America. Everyone enjoy your Sunday. We will post more videos later. Please hit like, subscribe, and share. We are trying to grow this channel. I literally just started this, so any help or support would be greatly appreciated. Have a great day. Thanks.